and let us all do we can to build a better future.
As a veteran, this story is going to enrage me. As a U.S. citizen, this story is going to enrage me. Biden is once again exhibiting signs of dementia, Alzheimer's. It can't be ignored. I'm sorry, but it just can't be. I'm tired of pretending that it doesn't exist. I'm tired of people telling me that, oh, Kit, maybe you're over-exaggerating. But again, I'm losing count. I'm losing count because sometimes I like to hold out for hope. Like maybe I am just in my mind saying that Biden is senile. But I can't ignore this. I just can't. And recently a video has gone viral of the president of the United States, leaving before the ceremony is even done. I don't know. Maybe it's another example of Biden playing the game of who shite my pants? Maybe Biden had a bathroom emergency. Who knows? But again, when I see behaviors like this, I've never seen any other president act like this. The reaction of this lady here, though, it's priceless because she's like, well, wait, where are you going? Her reaction is quite priceless. It's like, well, wait a minute, buddy. The show ain't over. Again, right there. You see, even this pilot, and I'm going to talk about his story. Even this pilot knows that something is wrong, because this again leads to a bigger situation. That is, what is wrong with Biden?
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for the benediction.
No president has ever done this, especially for a Medal of Honor recipient.
Most holy God, we thank you
again, one more time. Where are you going? Where's the president going? So what exactly is happening? Well, first, let's talk about it. President Biden was accused of being disrespectful after he quickly exited the East Room of the White House before the conclusion of a Medal of Honor ceremony honoring a Vietnam War veteran on Tuesday. Biden, 80, abruptly left the ceremony after fastening the nation's highest military decoration around the neck of retired Army Captain Larry Taylor, 81, before the closing benediction was read by Chaplain Brigadier General William Green Jr. Military veterans slammed Biden afterward, arguing that the commander-in-chief showed a startling lack of respect. Pardon my French, but what a effing idiot. The continuous lack of respect Biden has for anyone is appalling. Hawaii, service members, active shooter victims, people of East Palestine, etc., etc. The list goes on. Again, the Medal of Honor recipient, he served in Vietnam. And again, it is rather disrespectful. Because, again, this distinguished helicopter pilot braved intense ground fire for 45 minutes while making low-level attack runs, strafing the enemy with bullets and aerial rockets as they surrounded U.S. forces on the ground. And, again, Taylor was the one who got that patrol group, that U.S. patrol group, out. And, of course, he was receiving the Medal of Honor. But, again, Biden just chose to walk out, leave. Again, the shock amongst this one photographer right there. We all see it. We all know it, that something is wrong with Biden. So this opened up a Pandora's box for the White House press secretary to deal with. Case in point, this very intense exchange.
President Biden is the oldest president in U.S. history. Why does White House staff treat him like a baby?
No one treats the President of the United States, the commander.
That is true. Why does the staff treat him like he's a child? It's not that they treat him like a child. They know he's senile. For those of you who have taken care of old ones, your old family members who suffer from dementia or Alzheimer's, we know the signs. We know what it looks like. Biden exhibits it. This isn't open for a discussion. And we talked on a previous show about how the Democratic Party, how operatives want to drop both Biden and Kamala. Hey, vote blue no matter who. Is this your dog in the race?
In chief, like a baby.
So there's this book that says
That's ridiculous.
When staff
It's a
walked
ridiculous
back
claim.
what sounded like a call for regime change in Russia, the president, quote, rather than owning his failure, he fumed to friends about how he was treated like a toddler. Was John Kennedy ever babied like that?
So look, I'll say this. There's going to be always a range of books that are about every administration, as you know, that's going to have a variety of claims. That is not unusual. That happens all the time. And we're not going to.
Do you ever think Biden does comment to others secretly in private that he's being treated like a child? Type 1 for, nah. Biden doesn't do that. I mean, he's not coherent enough to do that. Type 2, no. In case he's got his two brain cells working together, he will lash out. Because again, look at how he is handled. Look at how he is coddled. Look at all of his examples of him stuttering and stammering all over the place. This isn't open for a discussion. Folks, the president of the United States doesn't know where he's at. He's the oldest sitting president in U.S. history. This is embarrassing. Democrat voters, is this what you really want?
To litigate those here. That's something that we're not going to speak to. There is one thing that I do want to, because I think I was asked this question last week by one of your colleagues about this particular excerpt that they were referring to. And so I'll say this, we did see the excerpt, the context of the excerpt, and it seemed to be making the opposite overall point about how the value of his experience and wisdom resulted in rallying the free world against authoritarianism, which is important. We have seen this. You all.
Okay, so what? Putin bad? Yeah. Trump bad? I don't care. I don't care. The White House press secretary, this entire administration is so successful, they made me stop caring. Well, what? Authoritarianism? Woogie boogie boogie. This isn't the first time it's risen its ugly head, and it won't be the last. Hell, dare I say it, the U.S. has helped install a lot of dictators. But no one wants to talk about that. I'm just a saying.
All have seen this, and passage of the most historic agenda in recent history in his handling of foreign policy, like rallying the world around Ukraine, as you just heard from our
I don't care about Ukraine, and she's not answering the question.
National Security Advisor, who laid out in really good questions that your colleagues asked about how the president is moving forward.
Good questions. She doesn't like his questions.
About Ukraine, about kind of leading into these conversations that he's going to be having at the G.
But hold on. This exchange isn't over yet. Let's play it.
One more. The president said over the long weekend that he hasn't had the occasion to go to East Palestine. I just haven't been able to break. The derailment was on February 3rd. President Biden has not had a break since February 3rd.
The president will go to East Palestine. He promised that he would, and he will. You saw him.
So he was not on a break when he was in Lake Tahoe?
I will say this again. The president is going to go to East Palestine, as he has said that he is committed to do. You saw him just this Saturday visit a rural area, right, that was devastated. Some parts were devastated by Hurricane Idalia, and he was there with the First Lady. They were able to hear directly from the American people.
Yeah, yes, occasionally. I'm willing to bet the reason why Biden can't go anywhere is because, well, he's so frail. He's extremely fragile. It must be a handful dealing with the most powerful man in the world who doesn't know where he's at. I mean, theoretically speaking, the president, the commander-in-chief, without the donors around, should be the most powerful person in any room. But yet, we have a president who has clear cognitive issues. This is seen before everybody. We see it. We see it firsthand. But it's incredible, the mental gymnastics and the ability of these people who work in the administration to lie for the president.
And he was able to talk about what is it that they need? What else do they need from the federal government? So the president is going to go to East Palestine. I don't have a time or date.
Yeah, okay. Let's have democracy in the chat. Type 3 if you think the president's going to go to East Palestine, Ohio. Type 4, no, he ain't. He ain't going to go there. In fact, if this administration is smart, he better not show up. And I'll tell you why. It will be plenty of political ammunition for Biden or at least for Trump to use against Biden. It will be a clear opening. And the thing is, we saw how orchestrated and contained his visit to Maui was. We saw that. I don't think this administration can pull that off in Ohio. There are far too many people upset. And again, the people of Maui have voiced their concerns, but thanks to this corporate media that wants to suppress and silence information, the only way we're seeing the people's outrage in Maui is on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on various social media platforms, on independent media. But again, he has yet to go to East Palestine, Ohio. If this administration is smart, they won't do that.
To announce at this time, but he will go.
By the way, again, let's look at night and day. Here's the White House press secretary. Rules for everybody, but people making the rules. Again, this administration, they sure know how to lie to the American people.
As far as the steps he is taking, since the president was with the first lady yesterday, he will be masking while indoors and around people.
Again, they're trying to bring back masking. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat. Type 5, because hold on. Let me start over again. Because, hey, folks, they're going to bring back masking and the lockdown, supposedly, right? That's going to be a lot of fun. Type 5 if you will comply and follow orders. Type 6, hell no. I ain't doing that. Never again. You do it, not me. I wonder how many 6s we'll get in the chat. Anyways, that is a crowded room, though.
As far as
interesting. But then again, I also want to pull this up here, too, because The Hill recently did a memo. Questions over Biden's age are getting sharper. The issue of President Biden's age isn't going anywhere. Concerns about the oldest president in history are growing sharper, if anything, as he begins his re-election campaign in earnest. A News Nation decision desk, again, HQ poll released Tuesday found 80% of respondents saying that they were very concerned or somewhat concerned about Biden's ability to serve effectively during a possible second term, given his age. If the president wins re-election, he'll be 82 at the time of his second inauguration and 86 at the conclusion of his term. Jesus Christ. Hey, listen, Democrat voters, liberals, I know I give you guys a hard time, and I encourage my audience to bully you guys, especially if you get out of pocket, especially during the election cycle, because you guys came at us. You came at us hard in 2020, but I'm encouraging my audience to be just as brutal, if not more so. But seriously, sit down for a second. Let's have a little bit of a ceasefire here. Is this what you guys want, liberals? Because look, I get why Trump supporters want to vote for Trump. All right, I get it. I understand. But what I can't wrap my head around is how a lot of you liberals and vote blue, no matter who, sycophants, just constantly keep on screwing yourselves up the wazoo. I mean, this is humiliating. 86 years old. The man is stuttering and stammering. He doesn't know where he's at half the time. Liberals, Kehav, vote blue, blue MAGA. Even you people who are on social media, you social media influencers that are saying that Biden's the greatest president ever. Is this what you want? Like seriously, if you are a diehard Biden supporter and you are that vote blue, explain to me politely in detail in the comment section, but why this is your horse to bet on, because this is humiliating. Again, Reagan was younger than Biden. Reagan did exhibit signs of dementia. at age 77. Tuesday's poll showed even 60% of Democrats expressed concern about Biden's capacity to serve a second term. Seriously, liberals. You're going to start plucking at my heartstrings where I'm going to feel sorry for you. But not like, oh, I'm sorry. It's more like, ugh, I feel sorry for you. Ugh. Those findings were broadly aligned in the Associated Press NRC poll last week, which found 77% of adults believe Biden is too old to effectively serve a second term. The problem with Biden being 80 is that he is acting more and more like a senior citizen without all of his faculties, said Toby Berskowitz, a Boston University professor. Biden's general demeanor reinforces that he is an 80-year-old, not a spry, competent 80-year-old. First of all, Professor, have you met a lot of 80-year-olds? There's only a select few of 80-year-olds that I've seen jumping and dancing all over the place, but it requires maintaining your body, working out, all of that. Look, I mean, again, this article is going to detail about what is wrong with him. He's not there, especially when you have stuff like this. Booty juice.
Thank you, Secretary Buttigieg.
Liberals, is this your dog?
Thank you, Secretary Buttigieg.
Somebody help that man.
Thank you, Secretary Buttigieg.
Booty juice, booty juice, booty juice.
Thank you, Secretary Buttigieg.
I'm terrible.
Somebody help that man.
Hey, look, I know where I'm going when I die. But listen, folks, listen. I think I now know why Biden left that ceremony for that Medal of Honor recipient. Because this happened.
So, Principal Richardson, thank you for welcoming us here today. And Secretary Cardona and Mayor Bowser and Chancellor Farabee, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country, the school year.
Okay, that was mean. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have played that video. No, that was not an actual ice cream truck. So what can we take away? What can we take away from this? What can we learn from this administration? This administration and liberals are in clear denial. They haven't accepted the fact that Biden is a senile individual. They haven't accepted the fact that, again, as an 80-year-old, he's exhibiting signs of someone who is becoming more and more frail. So when Trump says, hey, Biden doesn't look fit, and of course, this is Donald Trump of all people saying that, I can't argue against Trump's statement. There is no clear reason why this 80-year-old needs to run for office. I remember him saying that he was going to be a one-term president. I remember him saying that. His age is going to play a factor. In a previous show, we talked about, again, how Democrat operatives are now coming to terms with the fact that Biden isn't physically fit for the job. Again, his approval rating in the toilet, Kamala's approval rating, far lower than Biden's. Both these individuals are the worst president and vice president we've had in American history. They're incompetent. They're just going with the flow, all the while abandoning us. This administration has been lackluster and mediocre. And what did I say? What did Daniel and I say at the end of the 2020 general election? We both said that Trump is going to run again. We gave this warning. We gave this warning to a lot of liberals, and we got a lot of pushback. We got a lot of pushback from a lot of our friends and allies. Because what? We're calling it how we see it, that Biden is incompetent, that Biden doesn't have what it takes, and that if this administration isn't careful, Trump's going to come back tenfold. Well, that's what's happening. Why do you think this administration is so afraid of Trump? They're doing everything they can to make sure that there won't be a debate between Trump and Biden. Why do you think the DNC is making it very clear that there will not be a Democratic primary debate? That's not going to happen either. But the DNC and a lot of people are now waking up to the fact, and if the American people aren't waking up to the fact that there's something wrong with Biden, I don't know what to say to the American people, because this man, this person who's supposed to be the president of the United States, isn't aware of the situation. And by the way, for that ceremony, where the hell were his handlers? I've never seen any president do that amount of disrespect to a veteran, especially to a Medal of Honor recipient. Not from Reagan, not from Bush Sr., not from Bill Clinton, not from Bush Jr., not from Obama, and hell, not even from Trump. But Biden is probably the first president to do so because he's senile. And everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. Everybody's talking about it. So liberals, if this is what you want, explain to me why. But please, don't put in because Trump. Because Trump. I feel no sympathy for Biden. He's been on the wrong side of history for his entire political career. He was against a woman's right to choose. He was against busing and desegregation. He didn't want his white kids to be around black kids. He worked with Republican segregationists. He said he'd gladly prostitute himself to corporations, and he did. Him and his son have done a lot of shady business deals. This person, Joe Biden, helped write the crime bill, which led to the creation of the prison industrial complex. This person, Joe Biden, browbeat and yelled at Anita Hill, who bravely spoke out. And when our government listened, Biden shut it down. Biden, who voted for the war in Iraq. Biden, who sided with the credit card corporations to make student debt what it is. Hey, Bernie Sanders, you cuck. There's your friend. Why don't you chase after your good friend, Joe, Bernie? You want to be a cuck and sell out? Fine. But be sure to change Biden's diapers when you get a chance, okay? Because he's starting to stink up the room.